Oh boy. Oh my goodness. So we all remember the Ninja Turtle Pop the Balloon guy, right? And how everybody made a huge fuss over this dude. He ends up posting that, hey, people called his job and got him fired. He then starts a GoFundMe talking about, hey, I've been helping out single moms. I've been helping out, veterans. I've been helping out disabled, doing free plumbing services. I did a video defending this guy, and rightfully so at the time, because I'm like, hey, Pop Balloon, even though you may disagree with his behavior at that show, I don't think that it was anything that justified or warranted him losing his job. Was he catty? Was he slightly defensive? By all means. Was it to the point where people needed to go out of their way to call his job and get him fired? No, not at all. Because there have been plenty of guys on that show who have been way worse than he was. So I thought it was a nothing burger for the most part. I thought he was finally, he was doing what black men, should be doing. And people were attacking him simply because, they didn't like how he addressed those females on that stage. Well, it has come to my attention that he has been misappropriating the funds, essentially. He put out on his Instagram, and I'm not going to get into other interviews. I'm not going to get into his exes, because I think everyone has an ex that would be more than happy to come out and celebrate your downfall. I think everyone has someone that would come out and be like, well, I got this, I got that, because there's always two sides to every story. So what I'm using to essentially say that this guy has been deceitful is his own post. I'm not using anyone else's. I'm not using any other interviews. I'm using his own post. And in his own post, he shows that the fundraising money is being held due to verification process. And in the caption, he talks about, hey, a black man can't celebrate his birthday. How are you going to stop me from getting my money? Now, listen, if you do a fundraiser and your whole purpose for that fundraiser, the reason that many people were supporting him was A, they believed that he lost his job wrongfully, that he was wrongfully terminated. And B, it was great to see someone giving back to those in need, right? That he was using his skill to give back to those in need. And for him to come out and try to use the money that was meant for other people and his content creation to celebrate his birthday and then to post it, bruh, you cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. You're a straight up clown. You're a goofy at that point. And what it does is it gives credibility to everything that people have been saying about him. So he has been pivotal in his own downfall. And I think that's crazy. Okay, I think that's cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs that he would do something like this, because I want to address the elephant in the room. And the elephant in the room is honestly the backlash this dude received. Rightfully so in this case. Rightfully so. Especially when it comes to the charges of him, human trafficking and everything. But I want us to actually look at this and reflect upon this as a collective and how we go about things. Because I want you to understand that the reason why I'm so hesitant as far as to castigate and to malign someone like this, a black man, is that it happens every day. I've had so many stories, and you've seen the stories where this story, that story, that story, whether it's a black man or a black woman, who they are guilty until proven innocent. And that's got to be tiring, and that can't be our default when it comes to, situations like this where, hey, this man is guilty until he's proven innocent, or this woman is guilty until proven innocent. I like to give people the benefit of the doubt, especially when it comes to our own. Because we already have everyone else who's telling us, hey, we ain't nothing. Hey, you ain't nothing. You ain't starting any civilization. You're low IQ, low impulse control, all that. And I think people who use that language, that verbiage, when it comes to low impulse control, I think most of the time, either they're Sambos themselves or they're immigrants. That's usually the type of people who use that white nationalist talking points, who use that type of jargon in reference to black people. So yes, I may be a little sensitive when it comes to, lambasting a black man who, by all standards, seemed to be doing what he said he was doing. There was nothing that led me to said conclusion that he would be doing a fraudulent, fundraiser or having a fraudulent claim that he lost his job. Now, another thing we have to address are the psychics of the world. Because there are a bunch of psychics of the world who are like, Lucas, I already knew there was something wrong with him. Lucas, I could already tell there was something wrong with him. Man, I knew there was something wrong with him. How can you tell there was something wrong with him? And to those people, I say, kudos, congrats. I don't know what to tell you. I would say, honestly, I would argue that there's a portion of that belief that stems from post-traumatic slave syndrome, that stems from you being conditioned to hate yourself in this country. When it comes to an immigrant saying that, or whether it comes to a black American saying that, because I think that is very much the crux of a lot of this. Well, I don't believe that this man is telling the truth. Well, how he talks leads me to be suspicious of this and that. Looking at that in an isolated incident, that the balloon show, yes, was he catty? Was he combative or was he defensive? Absolutely. But coming from a black man and coming from someone who's understanding a social awareness, I understand that, hey, he may have been rejected. He's a short individual, and we all know, hey, you got those short kings out there, but short men actually do not experience the same thing as taller men. Unattractive men do not experience the same thing as attractive men. And the same thing goes for women. So I understand that he may come off as defensive when someone tells him, hey, you're not really my speed. Because I'm pretty sure he's probably heard that plenty of times, right? He's probably heard that many times. And once you hear that, especially as a man, it's not a good feeling. So naturally, there is a coping mechanism that people do. In this case, he had the coping mechanism of, well, you did me a favor, queen. You did me hell. You did me a hell of a favor. I would never get with you. So I get that. I understand many people aren't privy to that, awareness, but I understand that. I get it. Okay, you coping because she didn't like you. You probably heard that before. So now you're trying to go back at her and saying, well, I didn't like you to begin with. Okay, I wasn't even looking at you. I get that. So I'm a little more, empathetic to situations like this because I understand everybody has a bad day. Everyone has a bad day. And the more shortcomings and handicaps you have in this life, it gets worse. So if you ugly, short, and can't talk and have no charisma, or you have no game, you're gonna have a pretty bad. You're probably gonna have a pretty bad demeanor. You're probably gonna have a chip on your shoulder. So I understand how someone like this would behave in a scenario like that. But having said that, there was nothing of how he reacted that would lead me to the conclusion that, oh yeah, he's a human trafficker. I can just tell he's a human trafficker. Oh, look how tight his shirt is. I can tell he abuses women. I can definitely tell he abuses women. So when I hear people who try to come out and say, well, I knew this from the jump. I already knew something was wrong. I think you're a clown. I think you're a straight goofy. And I think a lot of that stems from a perspective of self-hatred, where many of us are so quick to throw us aside, are so quick to cast judgment and not give us the benefit of the doubt. And as I said previously, we already have that from everyone else. Every other group is doing that. So we can't even give our own the benefit of the doubt of, hey, maybe he just had a bad day. Maybe this and that, right? Because they do that to their own, right? You can have a video of someone doing, for example, January 6th or whatever, and they will say, well, it was just a tourist attraction. So I'm not saying do the same when it comes to that level of hypocrisy, but you're innocent until proven guilty. I'm not going to go and try and use this man's history to malign him due to some dating show that he's on. Anyone who's saying that his behavior is a foreshadow to his human trafficking, to the scam with the GoFundMe, you're a fool. You're being dishonest. That's what you're being. It's a travesty for people to say such disingenuous things. Because when it comes to his GoFundMe, when it comes to him lying about his job or whatnot, you want to tell me that I'm supposed to see that as a standard? It has nothing to do with being gullible or naive. It has to do with expecting better from a black man, okay? When you have a woman who lies about, hey, you being the father of your child, father of the child, it has nothing to do with, oh, you just gullible, you just naive. No, it has to do with expecting better from a black woman. That's what it has to do. It has to deal with holding yourself to a higher standard. So no, I don't consider myself gullible or naive to believe that someone would, first off, lie about him being fired from his job, okay? You're gonna lie about saying you were fired from your job, say that people called over 500 times to your job, and then put up a GoFundMe, fill out the GoFundMe, talking about how you helping veterans, how you helping single mothers, how you helping all these people with a trade that is a very high-paying trade to help these people. You want to tell me that I'm supposed to gather all of this information, that I'm supposed to believe all this was a plan? That, hey, due to his behavior on that show, of course this is a scam. Of course he's lying about that. You're foolishness, bro. That's goofy talk. Unless you just don't like black men. Unless you just think lowly of black men. I don't think lowly of black men. I don't think lowly of black women. So when they make a claim, I'm liable to believe them until facts and evidence comes out and refutes that claim. So that's all I'm saying. I think it's a little sad to see how so many people and many women who are just jumping on him because they didn't like how he behaved during the show. And they're hoping for his downfall. I think we got to be very careful of that. We got to be very careful of that because that's the same thing that the demons do. That's the same thing that the demons do. A police brutality incident, they don't go and try and get the context of, let's see what's actually happened. They go and try and find information to vilify this man, okay, or the woman, whether it's Breonna Taylor or Elijah McClain. So I always want to be just cautious of following in those footsteps. That's all I'm saying. Anyways, guys, that's the video. Let me know what you guys think. Whether or not you believe, look, I still don't believe what they're saying, okay? I still believe he's a good guy and all of this has been blown out of proportion and, we should still have his back. Or if you have believed, nah, I don't think we should have his back. He posted what he posted, misusing the funds. The funds aren't for you to have fun on your birthday, bruh. It's for you to help out people within the community that you said or alleged that you've been doing. And if you lying about that, well, now you're likely to be lying about everything else. What it does is it shatters your credibility. That's what it does. It shatters your credibility and it leaves you susceptible to allegations and, people being suspicious. That's what it does. So that's how I feel about that. Nevertheless, if you happen to disagree, you know where to find me. Friday through Sunday, disagreement day. Call in. We'll duke it out. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, please feel free to like, share, comment. Let me know what you guys think. And subscribe and all that fun stuff. Till next time, guys, be amazing. Lucas, I already knew there was something wrong with him.